Hi everyone, welcome to our professional development webinar for February 2022. We're starting to get towards the middle of the second semester and we're turning our attention forward to the next school year. And we thought it would be a good idea to talk about recruiting students into your computer science classes. Sometimes this can be a challenge, and so hopefully we can share some tips and tricks and ideas that will help fill up those seats in your computer science classes. As always, this is Chris Just. I've been a software engineer for a couple of decades before joining CompuScholar, and I've spent about 10 years with CompuScholar writing curriculum in this space. I'm always happy to answer your questions. You can send me an email at chris.just@compuscholar.com. So today we're going to briefly cover three different things. We'll talk a little bit about what we think might motivate some students to take a computer science class. And then we'll talk about who might motivate students. So you'll want to communicate not only with the students themselves, but the other people that tend to motivate those students. And then we'll share with you some posters and flyers that we've created that you can take and modify on your own and potentially use those to help attract students into your classroom. So what would motivate your average student to consider signing up for a computer science class? We've brainstormed a few different possibilities. And one of the things that we wanted to highlight is that the career stability is there and the earnings are there. So computer science majors and software engineers have excellent job prospects. They'll earn significantly more over their lifetime than someone would with some other average sorts of degree. And so you can certainly promote the career and financial opportunities to students where that would be appealing. The other thing that might motivate students is simply understanding the work that they're going to be doing. So students can look at sample programs, they can look at apps that maybe other students have written in your courses and see really what's the scope of what you can do as an introductory software course and a beginning computer programmer. So technology is endlessly fascinating, and if you show examples of student work to prospective students, or you identify students that are really fascinated with technology and they like to kind of roll up their sleeves and get their hands around the core technology that makes things work, then computer science is a great idea. So certainly learning how applications are written will give them insight into how their computers behave, into how the applications on their computers are going to behave. And then the last thing we wanted to mention is that you can use a computer science class usually to meet your high school graduation requirements. Depending on your state, you might require students take a computer science class or a computing apps class to meet graduation requirements. Your state may also allow students to take one or two computer science classes as a replacement for either an advanced math class or as a replacement for a foreign language. So depending on the state that you're in, there could be some attractive opportunities there for students to meet their graduation requirements. So this is just a quick list, and the message really is when you're trying to attract students to your classroom, you really need to kind of figure out what makes them tick, and everybody's going to be a little bit different. And so what you pitch to one student and the conversation you have with one student might be a little bit different than the conversation that you have with another student. And so we just wanted to provide kind of a range of initial brainstorming options. You may well have other things that you've tried on your own that have worked very well. And if that's the case, we'd love to hear from you, and we can share that the next time we address this subject in one of our webinars. The next thing that we want to talk about is who motivates students. And I really do want to give credit here to the College Board. They did an AP CSA webinar earlier this year or late last year where they talked about recruiting students to AP CSA classes. And we think the suggestions that they made are actually applicable to a broad range of computing classes. And so we just wanted to very briefly share those with you. And then if you want to kind of explore this in a little bit more detail, you can go on and search the College Board YouTube channel, and you'll find this webinar pretty quickly. So the first thing that was mentioned is that when you're talking to students, sometimes it's good to try and reach students as a group. And so if you can target specific clubs or sports teams or circles of friends that may be interested in doing something together, that might be an easier sell than trying to pull one student out of a group and have them do something unique with computer science that none of their friends are doing. So the more the merrier. And if you can reach a circle of friends as a target group, maybe you can schedule some time to get in front of that group and just give them a few minute pitch about what computer science is and why it would be interesting and something that would be advantageous for them. The next person that motivates students, frankly, is you, the teacher. So having a teacher come to a student personally and say, hey, I know you do great in this class. This would be something that would be very meaningful for you. students would certainly heed that invitation. And so if you have your eye on some students that you think would be a great fit, don't hesitate to pull them inside and give them a pitch and find out what motivates them and just kind of talk to them personally about joining the classes. We also know that students talk to each other. And so if you have students that have already completed your computer science classes, ask them to be ambassadors. So these students can go talk to other students about their experience. What did they like? What did they not like? What did they get out of the class? What are they doing with those skills now as they look forward to the rest of their lives? So having prior students act as ambassadors can certainly be very powerful for you. Another group of people that would be great to reach are the parents. So parents obviously have a great deal of say and sway in terms of the classes that students sign up for. And oftentimes parents don't really know anything about computer science. They don't know about the job opportunities. They don't know about the skill sets that are involved. They don't know what students are going to do with that skill after they graduate. They don't know that those classes can be used to meet graduation requirements. So educating parents as to the economic and other advantages of computer science could help put them in your corner, and those parents can in turn help convince their children to sign up for your computing classes. So we certainly encourage you to reach out to parents as well whenever you get the opportunity. It might be an email blast or Facebook post or something at a school fair, something like that. So certainly try and reach the parents of students that you want to be involved in your classes. And the last set of folks that we'll mention are guidance counselors. Guidance counselors will clearly play a role in routing students to different classrooms. So if a student talks to a counselor, the counselor can give advice on what they think is going to be the best fit for your classroom. And certainly not every student is a great fit for computer science for one reason or another, but many of them are. And sometimes the guidance counselors need education on what computer science is, what type of person is going to be successful in that classroom, what that person should expect to do afterwards when they graduate high school. Are they college bound? Are they considering computer science as a career? So really, maybe get with your guidance counselors and make sure they understand what the subject matter is all about and what students potentially have the ability to do in terms of a career afterwards. And that way, your guidance counselors can help route students to your classroom and can recommend computer science as an option when they're talking to the students. So again, most of these ideas were things that were discussed in this College Board APCSA webinar. So we don't want to take any credit for them ourselves. We just want to pass along the recommendations to you and would refer you to that full College Board webinar if you'd like to explore this in more detail. So the last thing that we wanted to offer to you are some one-page posters and flyers that you might find useful when recruiting students yourself. So these could be things that you actually print out and hang up around your classroom or in the school hallways. It could be things that you email around to parents and students as flyers or you put up on a school Facebook page. So you're welcome to modify these. We'll provide both a PDF version and Microsoft Word docs so you can edit and customize that content. There's a licensing text file in there with some fine print, but basically we just ask you to leave the CompuScholar footer intact. And these are not intended for mass market media, but you can certainly print them. You can redistribute them as you see fit for your local use. So with that, let's go take a peek at the flyers. All right, so we're looking at a PDF, and this first flyer is a career-centric flyer. So we talk about all the open software jobs in the United States, the increased learning over your lifetime, and encouragement to take that first step by signing up for a computer science class. So this is just a pretty simple flyer, and all of our flyers are pretty simple. And you might have some other creative things that you want to add in here to localize a flyer to your school, your district, your town. The next flyer that we have says everyone can code, and it's really an encouragement to students of all backgrounds. Computer science has no boundaries is kind of the tagline here. So we encourage kids to sign up for a coding class today to start learning about apps and web design and game design and that sort of thing. The next poster is just kind of a fun patriotic theme. It says, I want you to code with Uncle Sam looking at you. So you might find that to be appealing to your kids as well. And we have a few posters that are a little bit more language or course specific that advertise exactly what you would be doing in a course. So with our Java course, for example, it talks about the popularity of the language, lists a bunch of things that you can do with the language, such as Minecraft mods and Android apps and robotics, mention the AP Computer Science exam, with some encouragement to take that Java programming class. We've got a computing skills poster as well. So not every student is necessarily looking to code, but if they just want to kind of get their feet wet with computer applications and maybe dabble a little bit in computer science, then you might encourage them to take our digital savvy class. So cute little sayings on the top, and get savvy about hardware and software and search engines and applications and that sort of thing. So that's our computer applications poster. We've got a poster for video game design as well. So video game design is often a great way to lure kids into computer science with a fun subject. So here we've taken the approach of kind of emphasizing the projects that the kids are going to do. Remember, that was one of the potential motivations along with the economics and so forth. So just kind of demonstrating some of the things that the kids will be able to learn, some of the subject matter, and then really encouraging them to be creative as most video game designers will be. And then finally, we have a poster about our web design class, or web design in general. So kids go to visit websites every day, kind of appeal to their curiosity as to how those web pages are created, and with a couple of examples, again, of student work that show what they're going to be doing in those first and second semesters. So, combined, we try to play on a bunch of different themes, give you some different topics, and you can certainly customize these through the Word documents to include specifics about your particular classes and how they fit into your school and schedules and so forth. So we have provided these as a zip file for you, and let me show you where to find that. So from our main website at CompuScholar.com, just click on For Classrooms, and then Professional Development and Monthly Webinars. And this is most likely where you're watching this video anyhow, so you've probably already found it, but there's a zip file link here off to the right of the video, and you just click on that download link and you'll get a zip file with all of those PDFs and the corresponding Word documents. As always, we appreciate your time. We'd love to hear feedback, so if you have other great ideas for recruiting students into your computer science classrooms, just give us a call, shoot us an email through our website, or contact me personally. Thanks for watching.